تفضل دكتور أيمن.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello and good afternoon to everyone. Today we have two presentations about the job transformation market in the AI era. Dr. Nada Al-Mani is our first speaker. Dr. Nada Al-Mani is an assistant professor at King Abdulaziz University's Faculty of Information Technology and Computer Science. She earned her PhD in artificial intelligence from the University of Surrey in the United Kingdom. Deep neural networks, Arabic natural language processing, and chatbot applications are among her areas of research interest. Dr. Nada, could you please start the presentation? The stage is yours.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody, and thank you for having me in today's sessions. So I would like to welcome you in my speaking. Today I'm going to talk about the job market transformation in the AI era, as AI is my specialty and focus. But I would like to ask you to let me share my screen so that we can start our presentation. So I don't know if you can see my screen now.
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. So at the beginning, I just want to have an highlight and about my presentation. As I said before, that it's going to be focused on the job transformation market at the AI era. So if we take an outlook about our roadmap in the presentation. So first, we're going to differentiate between different terms that you usually the ordinary users and sometimes even the specialties can get confused between them, like digitalization, and digital transformation. Then we'll have a look about a definition, or a small definition about what is the digital transformation. And we will also discuss the benefit of using the digital transformation. Then we will have a look about the role of AI in digital transformation. At the end, we will have just a small case study about logistic domain, applying the digital transformation and AI technologies on the logistic domain. Because of the time constraint, it will be very short description. Okay, so first of all, if we are going to distinguish between those three terms, the digitalization, and digital transformation. Usually, digitization is when you are trying to convert all analog data that you have, like papers, photos, sounds, file, all into a digital form. So you are preparing your resources and ingredients for our final product. So here it's only transforming your forms and documents into e-forms. So then after that, you will have the main ingredients for your automation or digitalization. In the digitalization is the automation that we all know, is the IT solutions, the applications that run on any organization. But until now, we haven't yet entered the era of digital transformation. The digital transformation is when you have, let's say, you convert your organization into a platform. It means that everything in your organization gonna be digitalized, and you are going to produce data, and you're gonna to analyze data, and you're gonna employ an AI into your organization. So this is the three terms that I think that it will be a benefit if we start our presentation in it. So what is a digital transformation? Simply, it's the use of new, fast, frequently changing digital technology to solve problems. So when we said new and fast, it means that there's something intelligent. And this is the secret about digital transformation. And this is the magic that everybody is talking about digital transformation, and it's one of the essential element of our country, the 2030 vision, because it is the secret of success for any organization. It usually contains two ingredients: the cloud platform and AI. So if you have those two, it means that you master the transformation well. So why do we need actually digital transformation? We need a digital transformation to reach any organization goals. One of the goal is to be a competitive in your domain, to be the first who master let's say the um, the domain of your organization. As you are mastering this business, so it means that you are improving the business process. We usually, traditionally, we used to have the business analyst and make process re-engineering, all of this stuff to produce an IT solution. And we hope that this is the best practice of the business process. But by employing the AI in our business journey, we are guaranteed that we are reaching the best business process scenario that we can reach. And by this means, it means that we are increasing our efficiency. In addition to all of these three things that we used to use it as in the system design, in the system analysis phase, we also improving the decision-making process in the organization by having a huge amount of data and studying these data, analyzing these data by using the new trend of analysis and decision-making tools. So we will improve actually the decision-making and increasing the customer experience. And when we increasing the customer experience, we reach the final goal that will let me master this domain, that enhancing the customer satisfaction, which is the focus. In any business, the focus is on the customer need, the customer satisfaction, and all of these things. We want to reach a high rate review, for example. So we cannot reach it without improving our journey, the whole journey. We cannot reach it without having end-to-end solution, from the starting of the minimum task in our organization until the end. So this is our main goal, that we cannot reach it without having a complete end-to-end digital transformation solution that incorporate the AI, which is the core of this solution, because we want data out of my system and we want to analyze this data to get the benefit and to get the best practice solution for our organization. So actually, we usually use during all of our everyday day-to-day task. We were before the COVID. We didn't know that we are ready for the digital transformation. We usually hear this term, but we think that we are a long way until we reach this let's say milestone. But suddenly, when COVID pandemic had arrived to our life, يعني بين يوم وليلة وضحاها, we just discovered that we cannot go to our workplaces physically, we cannot do a job, but we were ready actually. يعني بيوم واحد احنا حضرنا محاضرات ودرسنا وعملنا everything. ليه؟ لأنه we are ready actually. We transform to online learning, or if we say the health sector, كان في distance consultation, business, we just use the e-business, even the supermarket, we were just buying our stuff online. So we were ready actually. But at that time, we realized that we have a problem in the distance working. What if at this point should be increased to make the life easier? What about this point? And so we just discovered our weakness in the transformation process. We need to transform actually, but to transform, we need to practice it. And we were forced to practice the online working or the distance working. After we come back to our workplaces, we decided and we realized that we actually needs the combined working metaphor. So the digital transformation framework have been developed by the need of our organization to have a virtual and physical mean of working so that we can produce more and we have more throughput from out of our works. So we should actually work on maybe the physical elements are already established and we have it, but we need to change our mindset that we can achieve more if we incorporate the virtual working with the physical working so that we reach to our highest potential of let's say achieved goals. So as I said, we need to change our mindset from ordinal organization or physical organization into a digital platform. So this is the essential element of any digital transformation, is to switch into a digital platform, change my workplace into a digital platform by including some elements that let me reach to this goal. These elements include technology and including the digital communication between customers and employee or between employees themselves. So I need to record all of these data and the outcome of this communication to have a mean of data or a big amount of data that comes out of this communication and out of the Internet of Things. What is the Internet of Things? It's not more than, let's say, objects or elements connected via networks and produce data that helps me to understand my work better. For example, if I'm working on a warehouse, I need to have sensors or some digital elements installed above the shelves and above all items in the warehouse. We need to have drones to make the delivery or to make the, let's say, the relocation of items like robots. All of these are working together and communicate together by the mean of the Internet of Things and by the mean of networking. And all of these let's say communication between things gonna be automated by systems, and the outcomes of these system is a data actually gonna be feed it into AI system. This is the final element of my digital transformation. The AI here will help me to predict and to analyze my data for, let's say, for increasing the sales or to know the customer demand, so that we can reach to their demands before or beforehand, before even the customer realized that he needs this demand. We can equip our warehouses with all products that may be ordered by any customer. So all of when we say that we're gonna to go through the digital transformation trends, it means that we are using solutions, different solutions, and these solutions gonna be connected and communicate with each other to reach the artificial intelligence, to feed the artificial intelligence applications. So like ERP solution, e-commerce, we will use we get the benefit of 5G. We will use a blockchain technology technology, which is only an ordinary simultaneous or sharing data structure between the Internet of Things objects, so they can access this blockchain technology to save data and to retrieve data from it. So to reach the big data concept that gonna be analyzed by artificial intelligence. So as we can say, all the digital transformation will be driven by AI. So here, it's a critical component of the digital transformation that cannot be ignored. If we don't employ AI in our solutions, it means that we did not, or we haven't reached the real digital transformation we are seeking for. Starting from customer services and customer experience, which is the most popular application of AI, and we need it actually for enhancing our services and for, let's say, increasing our sales. And we cannot ignore this very important component. We can use chatbot to reach to this goal. We can use sentiment analysis to analyze users' opinion. All of these tools or AI tools gonna use advanced technique to reach to accurate results, such as deep learning, neural network, machine learning applications. All of these will be incorporated with AI to reach to our goals. So AI helps business to create also centralized CRM data, which is customer relationship management data. We reach to this data to use it to analyze and to predict the future for our organization. So if, because of the time constraint, as I said before, I will just give very small description of the application of digital transformation on logistics domain. So in logistics domain, actually, we are concerning about customer, and everything end and start from customer. The customer wants low prices. The customer expect operation to be always be on when I need any help, I need anybody to answer my questions. So I can reach this, as I told before, by using maybe a chatbot. The chatbot will respond to user questions and answer it immediately without any latency in it. And also we can, for example, using real-time tracking for any shipment. So here also the user can track their shipment without having any delay in the information, and get her or his satisfaction about this experience. So how they can reach, how the supply chain logistic company implementing new technology to achieve this required end-to-end results. They can use cloud management, real-time communication. They can use the big data analytics to get the best practice of their business process, and to understand their users or customers' behavior. They can use, as I mentioned before, the Internet of Things devices in any warehouses, and their warehouses in, let's say, in their organization, by use a lot of ideas and like computer vision applications, natural language processing. They can also use, as I told before, the drones for the delivery, their system, their packages. They can use a lot of ideas of Internet of Things, and by incorporating also the cybersecurity for maintain the required amount of security for the packages that they are going to deliver it. So what they're gonna have the benefits, they will have better demand prediction. They will enhance customer experience, efficient planning and resource management, so that they know the packages before they even order it. They can have also real-time route optimization. They can take the cheapest route for their delivery stuff. They have warehouse automation. This is the most important actually point, is to automate their warehouses and change their mindset from ordinary warehouse or physical warehouse operated by workers into a digital platform that will be operated by systems and devices communicate with each other. And also they can the sales and market, they can do some sales and marketing optimization by using certain tool that use the generated data from the warehouse. And also they can use the back office automation to enhance the business process workflow. Here at the end, I just want to highlight some of the future digital transformation jobs for specifically the computer science students, that they should empower themselves with the knowledge required so that they can also occupy these jobs. We will need in the future business process manager. We will need business development manager, where we will need AI developer. We will need also robotics process engineer, a consultant, and also we will need RPA developer. We will need blockchain developer. We will need also cloud engineer, ERP consultant, big data analysis. And finally, we will need business intelligence analyst. And this is not the only 10 jobs, but I just want to give a highlight about the main jobs, and we are now not needing also only business analyst or software engineer or programmer. We will need much more special IT jobs. So thank you for your listening, and I was just running because of the time, and I'm willing to hear from you any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your enlightening presentation, Dr. Nada. Now I will give the audience the opportunity to ask questions. Could you please write questions in the Q&A box?
Thank you, everybody.
Here's a question, but it's in Arabic.
So the question is about the challenges for the digital transformation for any organization. Actually, the most important challenge, and it's really a challenge, that to change the mindset. This is the thing that we need to take care of it. If I want to answer in Arabic for Mr. Mohsen, التحدي الكبير هو إنه نغير نغير من التفكير ومن إذا أنا عند من الشركات تكون متبنية فكر معين، وهم يعتقدوا إنه هم أصلاً الآن دخلوا مرحلة الديجيتال ترانسفورميشن أو التحول الرقمي مجرد إنهم عندهم applications و IT solutions. لكن التحدي الكبير إنه نغير فكرتهم، وإنه أقول لهم معليش إنه الموظفين ما يداوموا عندك، أفضل إنه الموظف يداوم من بيته. ترى الموظف إذا داوم من بيته حيكون إنتاجية أكبر. هذا هو التحدي الكبير، إني أغير فكرة الشركات بأن حتى تتقبل التحول الرقمي، أغير فكرتهم إنه اسمحوا لي بمشاركة الداتا، خلوني آخذ الداتا حقتكم، ما عاد صارت سرية أنيمور، أنا عشان أفيدكم أنا أحتاج الداتا. برضو هذا يحتاج مننا مجهود مرة كبير. So, Dr. Saleh Al-Harthi, for those who are not specialized in CS and related submajors, how do we start on digital transformation maybe? Where should we start from and how would we continue on going that route? So, I think if you mean that you are in an organization or let's say a company, and you need to let's say empower your company with the digital transformation technology. So first of all, you need to put a roadmap, put your priority. If you didn't have any solutions, you have to produce a solution. Then after that, you have to think about connecting all of this solution and think about the data that's come out of this solution, how we can preserve our data, because you know that at the future, we will use more advanced solution to analyze these data. And again, the most important thing is you have to be open for changing, open for any requirements from the future. So Engineer Zaki, RPA, ERP consultant. Okay, so for the RPA is the robotic process analyst. The robotics process analyst is the person who, let's say, specialized in producing robots, and he has sometimes he hasn't to be able to implement any robot and produce robot. The most important task for him is to make the analysis required, to know what is the data required, how the robot gonna be use this data to produce the required information. And for the ERP system, this is a kind of system, the enterprise management system that take care of the day-to-day let's say task in any organization.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nada, for the nice presentation. We will have a session discussion afterward, so we can discuss and answer more questions. Now our second speaker, Dr. Abdullah Al-Ghusaybi, is our next speaker. He will also give a presentation today about the job transformation market in the AI era. Dr. Abdullah Al-Ghusaybi is a researcher in the field of artificial intelligence. He is enthusiastic about using AI technologies to expand business opportunities and promote innovation. Dr. Abdullah, could you please start the presentation? The floor is yours. We cannot hear you, Dr. Abdullah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Let me share my screen one more time here. Can you see my screen now?
لا يا دكتور ما تظهر.
Not yet. What about now?
ايوه نعم واضح.
Okay. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. It's my pleasure to be with you in this interesting symposium. I first would like to thank my colleague from King Abdulaziz University, Dr. Ihab, and others to talk about this interesting, I would call it a phenomena that we hear every day about AI. Sometimes us as specialized people in this person, we get sick of hearing misunderstanding or wrong information about it. My colleague, Dr. Nada, thanks for her. She, mashallah, yani she waved the way for me and get excellent introduction about some of the concept that I would like to deliver today. But I'll try to be give more details on other aspects after. First of all, okay, so we'll try first with job transformation. Like in general, what do we mean by job transformation? Why do we care about job transformation anyway? Then we're going to discuss about what we call digitalization and automation. Then we're going to come to artificial intelligence. So we're going to step by step walk through until we reach the AI. Then we're going to talk about something very important, which is the data proliferation. And what do we mean by that? Should we care or we just let it go? Then one of the things that I really would like you guys to live with is something called general artificial intelligence. And is there a strong? Is there a weak? Is there why we have general then? So are we gonna inshallah give a brief introduction about that? Then of course with any revolution in technology, revolution in any technology, there will be risk and challenges. So we need to pay attention to this slide because this is quite important. Then of course we're going to conclude and listen to your interesting questions. I'll try to answer it. So what Bill Gates says, most of the time decision makers thinks about 2 years in advance. They don't think about 10 years. And whoever want to stay in the market would like to give short-term plan and long-term plan. In fact, I strongly believe that the only job security for anyone, the only job security he or she should have is the continuous development and to adapt to the change. Even if someone not in the AI, he should know about AI. He should know about technology. Otherwise, I'm sorry, no job security anymore. So job transformation, we cannot talk about job transformation without looking to industrial revolutions back in the ages. In the first industrial revolution, we're trying to run some water and steaming. The other second industrial revolution were help of the electricity and line of development. Then we get the third revolution, industrial revolution, when it comes to computerize everything and try to have everything computerized and electronic form. If you can notice, for each industrial revolution, there were job transformation, there were skill unneeded, then all of a sudden it become needed. From 2 to compared to the first, from third to compared to the 1, and from the fourth compared to the 3 and 2 and 1. So yes, we should accept the change to adapt ourselves to the new environment. So this is the first and the second and the third and the fourth industrial revolution. So in the fourth industrial revolution, we want to connect and interact with machine, run entire line of production, and start to work smartly with factories and workplaces. So this change how we think, this change how we live, how work, interact. So these new skills come up with the fourth industrial revolution. So this affects all discipline, industries, economy. I don't believe majors or degrees in 50, 60 years ago where like when it comes to computer science, for example, discipline or technology, I can say like 50, 60, 70 years earlier than that. Most of it was in mathematics and electrical engineering and other disciplines. So yes, that's a big wave, the industrial revolution. And it's getting bigger as we are more adapting the AI. COVID, we cannot skip that. We cannot forget about it. It's the speed of the transformation, as Dr. Anada mentioned, all of a sudden. Move online. That's it. Move online. If you don't have online business, you are out of the market for some period of time. Amazon stock prices went to the sky. All of the reason because the online labor was one of the most effective affected piece of chain in this pandemic. No interaction. You cannot easily meet someone during the pandemic. So there were a lot of challenges to overcome, and most of it try to adopt the technology so faster than the other. And believe it or not, the only winner at that game was people who adapt to change. I remember once we decided to move to online, many faculty members resist to move online, unfortunately. Some personnel in the private sectors and in the government, some employees refused to move to online. Any change comes with the resistance, we understand, but that gives you a sign where you invest in which employee and in which direction. So that allows us to think about what you call human capitalization. This is very important concept we need to focus and to work with, because you need a new form in the market for reshaping to adapt any new updates or sudden change. A new form of market needs, a new form of market skills, a new form of markets handle and job description and anticipation. So all of this lead us to one important thing when it comes to the human factor. We would like to ensure cost-effective standards that allow us to have some level of quality in order to have good outcome. So, of course, when it comes to human capital, consists of knowledge, skills, and ability that people can accumulate more and more skills and be as productive members in the society. So you need to have these kind of knowledge and the skills and the ability to accommodate them. So there is increasingly evidence that unless the human capital is strengthened, societies otherwise will not be able to have a qualified workforce. And this is very important. We call for AI, we call for AI, we call for AI. As we will come later down the slides, the national plan for the data and artificial intelligence. And you're gonna see how amazing the Vision 2030 and amazing people in the Sadaya get this done in the AI summit last time. So we need a qualified workforce. Otherwise, you're gonna hire everyone from outside, from overseas. How this is possible? In fact, you cannot ask for strengthen the economy and ask for further development and innovations without having both money and workforce. So these go together: workforce and money, and development of the economy and the improvement of the life quality. So You need both of them so that they can support each other. So without strengthening the human capital, unfortunately, we won't be able to compete globally. And this is one of the major things that Vision 2030 emphasize on. We as a Saudis or anyone joining the AI, especially in Saudi Arabia, should be able to compete their counterpart globally. Let's say if someone get from our schools these days, will he or will she be able to easily get hired in Google, Amazon, or eBay, any big tech companies? We get some, but how confident or how satisfaction or the level of satisfaction that we are handling. So yes, of course, if we don't keep it up, year after year, day by day, it's getting bigger and bigger. And of course, Vision 2030 focus on the human capitalization to all strengthen the direction to the Vision 2030. So we cannot ignore digitalization, automation, and artificial intelligence and the difference between them. In simple English, automation, no human intervention. Machines only. Software. Okay, that's what we mean by automation. Digitalization, we used to have something called analog, and anything from analog converted to a digital form, that's what we call digitalization. We used to have regular clock, now it is digital. We used to have many other even computers were analog, now it's become to digitalized. So when it comes to digital transformation, as my colleague mentioned, it's an innovative way. It's just an innovative way to use technologies so that to radically improve the entire and redefine the value of the proposition and the stakeholders. So it's not about taking something analog to put it in digital. No, you need to rethink in an innovative way how to use the technology or the digital technologies in order to improve the current task. By the way, my search found 134 definition of the digital transformation, and I picked this one. So we have to give a definition for artificial intelligence. So basically, it's a software. At the end of the day, it's a software that it becomes aware of its existence and around and surrounding environment, and try to make trustworthy or smart decisions. So we call them sometimes agent, but we call them also, at the end of the day, they are software. They are aware of the environment and can make trustworthy decisions. What's amazing about AI, it doesn't only change the discipline for the computer science where it comes from, where it's belonged to, but it also revolutionized other disciplines, including the culture, the process, the technologies. When it comes, for example, to marketing, you cannot ignore artificial intelligence and without looking into a new trend of how to use AI in marketing. In law, قانون, you cannot ignore the artificial intelligence في القانون because it gives an excellent result. You cannot ignore artificial intelligence when it comes to agriculture and food security. AI doing an amazing job over there. You cannot ignore artificial intelligence when it comes to medicine. So not only it changed computer science, but it changed others. This is amazing. And if we look to these companies in front of us, Tesla, Uber, Amazon, Netflix, Facebook, Airbnb, they revolutionize how things work, used to work, and use the AI to improve and become one of the most successful stories in the era of technology. So this is just to give you a number of what we are anticipating by 2030 in the Gulf countries. Total of $320 billion dollars to be invested. Transportation, logistics, technologies, construction, manufacturing, energies, public sectors, health, education, a lot of things to be invested at. To look to the Middle East, you can see Saudi Arabia anticipated to put $135 billion up to 2030, and that's put it in one hand, and other countries in the region on the other hand, that allow you to have a clue of the amount of the money to be invested in the AI, and everyone should keep up with that. So when it comes to the national strategy for data and AI, this is from the bottom, from the top of the pyramid. We need these KPIs to be met. 40% of the workforce trained on basic data and AI. 40%. That's very ambitious number, and we need all to work on that. 15,000 local data and AI specialists in the workforce. We need to work hard on that. 5,000 AI experts, and we need to work on that as well. Be one of the top 10 countries in the open data index, and make a huge move on laws and regulations when it comes to how to manipulate data and data governance. Bring in 30 billion Saudi riyal into KSA that work in data and AI, and invest into 45 billion Saudi riyal in the local investment in the companies that allow us to adapt more data and AI, and allow to have excellent and peer-reviewed publications, and be one of the top 20 in the data and AI publications. And I would call pulling out 300 data and AI startups. That's that. I copy and paste them. I didn't manipulate any word. This is our national strategy. This is everyone goal and aim to work and fight for it. Whether you are a student interested, whether you would like to hear about it, our students in the colleges, master, PhD, undergrad, business, we need to push all into this direction. This is our north, guys, where we need to work on. So, as I mentioned, why there is a general AI is there is an enough narrative AI and all of these things. So first of all, we would like to, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but I'll talk about basically in what do we mean by machine learning. In a traditional machine learning, you have data sets, and you have you need to work on finding some attributes, whether this is an image, text data set, or whether it is any kind of document, any kind of data. You need to find the features, the attributes. Then the machine learning can help you on that. Is there something called deep learning? Yes, there is something called deep learning, where we don't need to worry about feature engineering or how to extract attribute. The deep learning will do this for us. So yes, deep learning is one of the best approaches. I cannot call it state of art, but it is one of the best. But we usually start from machine learning. Usually, whenever you hear AI, you will be hearing about machine learning. And whenever somebody talk about machine learning, put it in your mind how the deep learning is supposed to work. They will have same result, but with deep learning, more accurate result. This is just give a hierarchy of how things get started. AI in the 50s with many logic and rules, programming rules. Then with the machine learning, we get to adapt more data and clean data and interesting algorithms. With the deep learning, that allow us to boom into get away of the headache of the inter process in the machine learning. So you can find machine learning these days anywhere, in medical diagnosis, stock market prediction or trading, up to traffic prediction, speed recognition, self-driving. Machine learning can dominate all of this. When it comes to risk and challenges, these are one of the things to be carried on. There is some cost, unfortunately, development cost in terms of human, in terms of software, as Dr. Anada mentioned. On cloud, you need to work on a cloud. You need someone to understand which libraries, how to manipulate code. So we need both in order to transform to the AI era. Integration issues, of course, this is raised whenever you have more than one data, and these data come from different resources. Sometimes they overlap, sometimes they contradict, and sometimes they complement each other. This is from the data point of view. And when it comes to software and writing models and algorithms, we need to work onto these very carefully. Fear for replacing a human, this is always as of the people fearing of adapting the concept of human capitalization. Ethics, of course, I give you my data to help me, not to manipulate these data and know that I will be out from my home from this time to this time and try to misuse these data. Regulations, as we can see now, a lot of regulations and happening these days, but this is in terms of government. But each company needs to work hard on their data governance, their regulations, and many other things, including security. Adversarial examples. This is one of the most ignored risk factor in the artificial intelligence. This is where we can attack machine learning and AI, and regardless of how confident and accuracy you can get, we can flip this result with the adversarial examples. It is interesting work. I have to work on it, and if someone would like to leave with one risk factor for AI, adversarial example, read about it. Is very interesting. When it comes to repurpose or put more than one AI solutions together, this is not always available. So yeah, of course we need data, and that's what we call I call it proliferation. You need to have data. These data need to be cleaned. These data need to be integrated. You need to have some level of quality with this data. And when it comes to interoperability of the data, how can we repurpose the data in order to process it in different application? Usually we need some open format. Don't lock yourself with data with one format. Make the data available over the web. And this is led us many companies, when they want to interchange their data, big walls between them, and cost them a lot of effort. And as Kabar mentioned, that getting information of the internet is like taking a drink of fire hydrant. So whenever you want to data from the internet, you will find a lot of data that more than one can kind of process. So these technologies at their back end, they use very clean data to classify, for example, spam email, which email goes to your junk, which is not, to find excellent result in Google, to translate a virtual assistant, to anticipate a given text. These are all AI behind it, and it is not a rocket science. It's not a magic. Very simple algorithm and model with clean data. You can get these kind of results. Where we are saying, or what we are going to see globally, you can see that these companies adopting AI. Like, for example, you can see in computer vision, 249 companies. And when it comes to application, computer vision application, smart robots, gestures, machine learning, natural language processing, video recognizing, recommendations, people are talking about AI, and the wave is coming to us. And this is a lot of investment. This is a lot of money in there. Tim Berners-Lee, inventor of the web, mentioned very nice topic about open data and what he called linked open data. It's not only a good idea to publish your data openly, but link them together. How we link them together, this is a big topic. We're going to talk about it today, but he gives 5 stars. For 1 star, if you open the license, so anyone can look, search to your data. 2nd star, make it in available free software, not like software that can lock you from using that data. Also make them very easy to be used and adopted in open license softwares. Something called URI, with help of other standards, you make the data very unique from each. Data is very unique from each other, and make them connected over the global via very semantic rich data and open data. And believe it or not, people are working way behind, and 2007, where some very small graph that each circle there are some data, and these data connected with the surrounding circles. And this is in 2008. This is, I believe, in 2000, if not mistaken, 10, and this is in 2011. And this is 2014, and I believe this one is 2019. You can see that each circle has a lot of data on it and connected with others semantically and in more meaningful way. This is very nice thinking of open data, to have them linked, semantically linked in open data, and there are many projects to be in that matter. Year after year, per day, this is the amount it gets hits when it comes to search for some of their concepts like DBpedia or linked open data per day. This is per day, hits per day. You can have very interesting semantic knowledge graph if you have open data and link them together. That will give more interesting results and more interesting findings, and many applications can go from that period of development when it comes to semantic linked open data. So adopting, when you come to conclude, adopting of AI, it is a matter of time before any companies, or I would say companies would like to stay as a business, and government to stay in business. Heavily depend on data, more clean data, more professional data. This give very interesting result and findings. We need to repurpose the data. We need to populate the data. and as we mentioned, make them in the open data platforms. And of course, we need to respect if there is any kind of a privacy issue, but think about the data into more linked way. So yeah, whenever there is opportunities, there are some challenges, and one of the most challenges, honestly, you can think of that in terms of not technologies but regulations, that top management must accept the AI, must face the AI with acceptance and normalization. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I took maybe more than what I planned to in this presentation. قلت شيء خطأ فهو مني، وإن كان صح فمن الله سبحانه وتعالى ومن توفيقه. Thank you for your time. Again, thanks Dr. Ihab and colleagues there. I am open to your questions.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Abdullah, for the informative presentation. Now I will give the audience the opportunity to ask questions.
Sure. So how are we gonna take it, Dr. Osama or Dr. Ihab? I couldn't recognize the voice. I'm sorry.
No, my name is Dr. Ayman. You can choose, Doctor, any question you think it's suitable.
Okay. I can see a bunch of questions. Deep learning, can you explain? عبد العزيز البلادي سأل, can you explain deep learning and talk about it more? لأن السائل بالعربي, so I'll try to answer الجواب بالعربي. Excuse me. الديب ليرنينج أو التعلم العميق هو آلية إنك أنت ما تدخل in much details of the machine learning task. It's supposed to give better result than the deep learning, but before you go into deep learning, you should be aware of the machine learning. There is the supervised learning, unsupervised learning. It's a big topic to explain more about deep learning, but what I can say for you is that it is less sophisticated than the machine learning, and it usually helps you to predict in more accurate outcomes. I hope I answered your question properly, Abdulaziz. I'm sorry if I could not, but talk to me offline. I will be happy to elaborate more on that. Is computer science related to this job? So if I get a degree in computer science, can I work in this field? I believe you are meaning you mean deep learning, right? No, not technically. Not technically. Like there is a concrete, I would say, back end that the computer scientists should know, how to engineer AI systems, how to work professionally with code, with data, and there are some libraries, drag and drop deep learning tools. So it depends where you are standing, but you can jump to the end and you can get it right away.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abdullah. The session discussion for the presenters and audience will now begin. For the audience, please ask your questions in the Q&A box. In case you have a question for any of our presenters, please ask the question in the Q&A box.
Okay, let me excuse me for my interruption, but there is a question.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I really like it. I wanted to answer it. So about he's from Wissam Muhammad. So did you address AI in student assessment practices in your university? Any best practice implication you might share it with us? So actually I have a personal experience. I have a graduation project that we use a pre-trained model to assess or to grade a free form text. That means it's written in natural language processing. As we know, that the Blackboard, when you prepare any exam by using Blackboard, you will have only multiple choices, true, false, maybe matching, but you cannot grade any free form text, or essay-like questions. So we tried to use the neural network or the deep learning to have a model answer. We gave the model, let's say the tool, a bunch of data set with the but it should be in a specific field. For our experiment, we did it for computer science questions. So we gave the model data set for many answers about computer questions, and then we tested the model by entering the student answer with the predefined model answer, and the model was able to grade the student answer well. So it was very exciting to work with such an experiment, and we are looking forward actually to enhance our results. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nada. I think we should have one more question for Dr. Abdullah.
Wallahi, I would rather you to choose because there are so many questions.
Here's a question, I think, from Rima Lotebi. How can we start learning programming deep learning like CNN? She means convolutional neural networks.
Right, that's a good question, Reem. Reem, it depends where you come from. If you come from management school, if you come from non-technology school, I would rather you to start with, first of all, to start how to code things in Python. If you know how to program in Python, you are half the way through understanding how to program in deep learning. Python allow you to include many libraries. Google Colab, also you can link so many algorithms and model, not only CNN, but other variations of the deep learning. Google Colab, Python, I think you can find a lot of tutorials into going into these two programming languages or platform, if you are going to talk about the Google Colab. And I think this is a good start to go from. By the way, recently FutureX platform that launched by Ministry of Education. They have very interesting tutorials and very interesting mini certifications. So you can go to this FutureX and you can go into more organized content in many disciplines. One more time, I hope I answered your question, Reem. Sorry if I could not.
I think we should have one more question for Dr. Nada, and we finish by having the final question for Dr. Abdullah. Here is a question: is computer science related to this field? So if I get a degree in computer science, can I work in this field?
So actually, yes, because traditionally, when we received any degree, we work with this degree for, let's say, 40 years, 30 years, for your whole working lifetime. But now you have to change again for your mindset. So if you receive a degree in any science, let's say now for a computer science, for me, I received a degree in computer science, But now I'm an expert in AI because I have to be able to teach myself any new technology. So today we have AI as a new technology, but maybe after 10 years, 20 years, there's a new technology emerged. So you have to learn how to learn. Yani this is the new concept of learning, is to teach your kids from the school. Teach them to learn how to learn, to search for any information, to search for the knowledge. So that's why you can, yes, you can receive the degree in computer science and work in AI or digital transformation as soon as you can educate yourself with this technology. And as Dr. Abdulaziz just said, that you can just attend online courses, check any tutorial, know what is the fundamentals of any science.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nada. Dr. Abdullah, I think we have here.
Sorry, I'm so sorry to say, Dr. Abdulaziz, sorry.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Okay. Please, can you summarize what are the main characteristics of a data scientist? Is there a shortage in the market for such qualified people?
Before I answer this question, first of all, I would like to thank Artificial Intelligence Society for organizing this amazing symposium. I would like to thank Dr. Ihab, you, my dear Dr. Ayman, Dr. Fatma Ba'athman, for your great organizing this important symposium. Is there a shortage of the data science? Yes, there are a lot. But they need skilled person. Yani I met a lot of recruitment and HR people. People write and they are data scientists, but when it comes to deal with the data, they are not skilled enough into working with data. There is the data engineering, believe it or not, one of the most important thing or task. But if you can think about data science, yes, there is a need. Data science, it has a lot of process to go through, and dealing with the data, it's not easy as most of the people think, unfortunately. It's pain in the neck to work with dirty data. I remember I was in a charge of one of the systems here, and the developers stays, I believe, 2 weeks, try to solve one silly mistakes in the data. And it was the date is written date, month, year. In some tables, it is flipped, month, date, and year. Yani, I am not sure when should a person think of this mistakes, because it's only available in few lines in multiple tables. Because she was an excellent data engineer and she is very excellent and amazing in databases, she could understand the problem. So yeah, data science is you kind of start from data generation up to data governance. This is all playground for data scientists. Wallahi, one more time, I hope. I have one problem that when I don't see faces, I'm not sure when to stop or stop elaborating on some answers.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abdullah. I think now the session will now come to a close. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you in session 3 tomorrow. Be there or be square. Finally, I and the rest of the panelists wish you a pleasant evening. Goodbye.